afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Centennial Lecture Series, UP, View from Inside. Today's lecture is Beyond the Classroom, Rebuilding a Damaged Nation. Today also marks the fourth lecture in the year-long Centennial Lecture Series that will feature renowned international and local personalities in the academe, government, and industry. Again, we would like to repeat that all lectures are beamed live to UP Diliman, UP Manila, UP Los Baños, UP Visayas in Miagao, Cebu, and Tacloban, UP Mindanao, UP Baguio, and UP Open University. The lectures are also webcast through the internet for broader coverage. Since we are on webcast, our audience from anywhere in the world may send in their questions using Skype. Please rise for the Philippine National Anthem. Kayang magiliw, belas ng silanganan, alam ng puso, sa titik mo'y buhay. Lupang hinirang, tuyatan ang mag-ibig, sa manlulupig, di ka masisigil, sa dagat at bundok, sa simoy at sa langit mo pagkak. Please take your seats.
Today, we hold another important event to celebrate UP's centennial. I think most of you are aware that we have lined up a series of events to mark this important milestone in the life of UP. We are organizing celebration activities, fundraising activities, and activities to promote or project UP to the outside world. But the centerpiece of UP Centennial celebration is actually the UP Centennial Lecture Series. After all, UP is an academic institution, and because it is, a good part of commemorating its birthday is to get scholars, experts, and distinguished individuals to share with us their thoughts on UP or their views on burning issues of the day. 4 categories make up the lecture series. One set of lectures will be delivered by insiders. They will present to us their views on UP, its successes and achievements, its faults and shortcomings. From them, we will get the view from inside. Another set will be delivered by those who are not part of our community, but who we believe take an interest in our university. They will share with us their insights on our vision, our mission, as they are perceived by the larger community. From them, we will get the view from outside. The third set of lectures will be by experts, both from UP and from other institutions, who will talk about national and global issues such as global warming, poverty alleviation, indigenous peoples, state of Philippine education, status of women, peace and conflict resolution, etc. And finally, for the fourth category, we will feature distinguished individuals who, through their life work, have attained great distinction in their respective fields. As an institution tasked not just with producing new knowledge and disseminating existing knowledge, but also with the shaping of the minds of a future generation of leaders, we felt it was important for us to have this lecture series and provide our faculty and students with the opportunity to listen to what our scholars, experts, and invited guests have to say. Today, we present to you one of our very own to guide us through a process of self-assessment to give us a view from inside. I wish to thank our speaker for sharing this day with us. And to all of you who are here, we are grateful for your presence here today.
To introduce our Centennial Fellow is another Centennial Fellow himself, a professor of sociology and an Inquirer columnist, Professor Randolph David.
Good afternoon, friends. Magandang hapon sa mga taga-UP, sa lahat ng campuses. I am glad that Emeritus Professor and former UP President Francisco Dodong Nemenzo is delivering the first internal lecture in this Centennial Lecture Series, a series that aims to take a hard look at the University of the Philippines from within. What he has to say, I am sure, will inevitably set the tone for the subsequent lectures. Dodong is eminently qualified to speak on the subject he has chosen, beyond the classroom, rebuilding a damaged nation. If I may say so, we have the perfect speaker for a topic like this, at a time like this. The vocation of a university professor for Dodong has always included political engagement in the affairs of his society. He was never bothered by the contradictions inherent in every attempt to play these two different roles at the same time. On his return from doctoral studies in Manchester, England, in the mid-60s, he plunged headlong into the issues triggered by the Vietnam War, applying to these the analytical light of Marxism, even as he continued to teach public administration theory and government at the College of Public Administration. He went underground when martial law was declared in 1972 and was subsequently captured and detained. Upon his release a few years later, he was voted Dean of the College of Arts and Sciences. He was a popular choice, and the President and the Board of Regents at that time really had no option but to appoint him, a Marxist at the head of the university's largest college, a dissident intellectual in charge of young minds. At the end of his term as CAS Dean, Dodong went on an extended sabbatical and accepted a post as Professor of Politics at the Australian National University in Canberra. There he became active in the struggle against the dictatorship at home. On his return, he was appointed Chancellor of UP Visayas, a unit of the university that was particularly close to his Cebuano heart. There he immersed himself in the unique environment of provincial café politics, playing the unique role of a provinciano Marxist, debating with Visayan politicians and radio pundits on the wisdom of getting rid of the American military bases. After completing his stint as UP Visayas Chancellor, Dodong accepted an invitation to become a visiting professor at the International Christian University in Tokyo, hoping all the while that this time of solitude would give him a chance to finish his lifelong work on the history of the Philippine Communist movement. But it was not to be. His students loved him, and he spent a lot of time preparing his lectures and mastering the uses of the personal computer as a tool of learning and communication. Dodong's exposure to university life abroad primed him for the highest role that the academic community could offer anyone, the presidency of the university. When he sought the presidency of the university in 1999, Dodong anchored his vision for the UP on two concepts, excellence and wisdom. First, he wanted to lift the university from the state of mediocrity in which he believed the university had languished for a long time. He felt that the role of the university was to serve as the Filipino nation's intellectual spearhead as it faces the complex challenges of the 21st century. He knew that the UP could not possibly play this role unless it recovered its capacity as a generator of cutting-edge knowledge. To this end, he did everything to encourage the faculty to push the horizons of research in every field and to publish their work in international journals. But even as he was focused on recovering the prestige of the UP in the international academic community, Dodong was even more obsessed with the idea of promoting wisdom as a quality that should set apart every graduate of the university from the average educated person. The vehicle he chose for this idea was the general education curriculum. By opening up this closely guarded and structured program to the most inventive and daring contributions, Dodong invited a torrent of criticisms from nearly every quarter of the UP community. Today, it remains the most controversial of Dodong's interventions as president of the University of the Philippines. The controversy is understandable. Some of the biggest academic departments of the university had woven their very reason for existence around the old curriculum. But perhaps more than this, the professional colleges had looked upon the pre-existing GE program as mostly a tool for acquiring and honing the foundational skills needed for the various professions. Dodong had a different idea, an idea that was closer to the classic concept of a liberal education as a sustained workshop for the formation of human beings imbued with wisdom, a passion for learning, character, commitment, moral courage, and allegiance to the fundamental human values. Dodong was concerned that the UP graduate should be more than just a professional who would find his or her proper place in society's division of labor. He wanted the UP graduate to be a critical citizen, a person who was always several steps ahead of his or her own time, a human being who would lead the process of transformation in his own society and could feel as much at home in future social systems as elsewhere in the world. His vision of the UP graduate was of someone who would precisely take the lead in rebuilding a damaged nation. Colleagues and friends, ladies and gentlemen, our centennial speaker this afternoon, he may be walking with a cane these days, but let's welcome the irrepressible Dodong Nemenzo.
Magandang hapon sa inyo lahat. Ayaw ko talagang mag-distribute ng advance copy ng aking lecture. Dahil sinusulat ko ang manuscript ko ayon sa bilang